love heating with wood. The warmth a wood stove puts off is the best heat, in my opinion. The beauty of a fire in a fireplace, the crackling sound of the wood, and the fragrance that fills the room create an atmosphere in the home that nothing can compare to. I can't think of many things more pleasant than winter evenings sitting down with my family and reading by a warm fire. But the experience of heating with wood and the memories made don't start and end on winter nights. "10 years ago, we first began heating with wood, and we didn't know what we were doing. We were renting a home in North Central Washington at the time, and the two heat sources were a wood furnace and a pellet stove. Because the cost of wood was going to be so much cheaper than buying pellets continually, and the fact that we didn't need electricity to run the stove, making it a much better option in case of a power outage, we were excited to embark on the journey of heating with wood. And we had a lot to learn. So we started learning how to fall trees, how to buck up wood, how to split wood, what makes for the best kindling and tinder, what wood is even any good for starting a fire, and how do you start a fire? We needed to learn what some of the cheapest ways were to obtain wood because we like to do things for as cheap as possible. And we needed to learn about stacking wood, which has become one of my very favorite homesteading chores. There's a lot more to heating with wood than simply flipping a switch on the thermostat. So why go through all the extra work when we can have instant heat so conveniently? For our family, there are quite a few reasons. First off, we may not always have electricity, and we like to have as many non-electrical backups in case that ever becomes a reality for any length of time. It's the most reliable heat source. You can clearly see how much wood you have left in your stack, and depending on where you live, there's a nearly endless supply. And as long as you have a wood stove, it works without electricity every single time. If you have wood on your property, you can practice good forest management by downing dead standing trees and removing downed trees and limbs and using that to heat your home for free. And you're cleaning up your property at the same time. I love that. Since moving to this property, which is the first property we've owned, we haven't had to split any kindling at all because every time we hike on our property, we pick up down limbs and we use that for kindling. It's been making our forest so much cleaner. But what if you don't have wood on your property? Is it still a cost-effective means for heating your home? You can get a permit to cut wood in the National Forest for next to nothing. Where we live, if we wanted to get a permit for the year, we could cut 4 cords of wood for $20. And that's actually more wood than we'd even need to heat for an entire year in this climate. The cost and amount of wood you can get with a permit may vary by location, but even doubling that cost, it's an amazing savings when compared to any other heat source. But what about the time? Back to that thermostat, it's quick and it's efficient. As long as all is going well, you turn that knob and you have heat instantly. Getting wood takes a lot of time. Chopping wood, stacking wood, collecting or splitting kindling, they all take a lot of time. Not to mention you need to plan ahead because you need to make sure that you have wood that's seasoned because it's going to burn much more efficiently. For our family, the trade-off is a no-brainer. If we heated with electricity, propane, gas, any other heat source, it would require more of my husband's time away from our family. Whereas when we heat with wood, we work together as a family to collect it. I told you the memories made heating with wood don't start and end in front of the fire, and that's because we're making memories together as we collect and stack wood as a family. I'm really not sure which makes the best memories, but I love it all. Heating with wood is part of our lifestyle, part of our philosophy of life. The thermostat, though so much easier than wood heat, makes no memories, provides no sustainability, and doesn't make you prepared. Seeing your wood stack, you know where your heat is coming from, even if the power is out all winter. And to us, every minute of this work is worth it. There aren't many other ways we'd rather spend our time. There's fast coming a time when God's people won't be able to buy and sell. The book of Revelation warns us of that, and for our family, we want to be prepared for that time both spiritually and practically. If that's important to you, I really hope you'll subscribe, because preparing for that time is a driving force in our family's life. And it's our aim to make that come through on this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, friends, we wish you the best.